Dear students, welcome back. During the last lecture, we discussed in detail the types of analog signal and their characteristics. Turning our attention now to the visualization or the graphical representation of such signals. Such signals can be plotted either in time domain or in a frequency domain. In a time domain plot, a signal's amplitude is plotted against time, while in the frequency domain plot, a signal's amplitude is plotted against frequency. Both domains, that is time domain and frequency domain, have their own advantages and disadvantages. Frequency domain, for example, improves the visualization and reduces the complexity of the plot, especially in cases where we are dealing with more than one signal. Let me explain this with the help of an example. Here on the left hand side, we have plotted three sine waves, each having its own frequency. Since amplitude has been plotted against time in this figure, it is therefore a time domain representation of the three signals. On the right hand side, we have plotted the maximum amplitude of three sine waves against their frequencies, hence making this plot a frequency domain representation of the three signals. As visible from the two figures, figure A and figure B is much more compact and concise than figure A. However, this frequency domain representation of the three sine waves has one major drawback, and that is it has no information about the phase of the three signals. Time domain representation, on the other hand, does give us such information for all of the three signals. In our real time domain plots are usually obtained using an instrument called an oscilloscope, while frequency domain plots are obtained using a device called spectrum analyzer. Moving on to the applications of analog signal. An analog signal which is simple and periodic. Such a signal is useful in distributing power from its source, such as powerhouses, to the destination, such as our own houses, industries, or any other kind of load. Such type of signal, that is, signals which are periodic, which are simple, and which are analog. Such signals are useful for actuation purposes, such as actuation of a burglar alarm, etc. However, one application where such signals are not very helpful is data communication. For data communication purposes, we need composite signal. A composite signal is one that's made up of a number of sine waves, each one of which may have a different amplitude, a different phase, or a different frequency. Such composite signals can be decomposed into its components using Fourier analysis. If the composite signal is periodic, its decomposition gives us a series of sine waves with discrete frequencies. Now, what do we mean by discrete frequencies? Frequencies that are integer multiple of the fundamental frequencies, such as 1f, 2f, 3f, etc. are called discrete frequencies. By 1f we mean 1 times the fundamental frequency, by 2f we mean 2 times the fundamental frequency, by 3f we mean 3 times the fundamental frequency. So, if the signal is periodic and it is composite, then the decomposition of such a signal will give us a series of sine waves with discrete frequencies. On the other hand, if the composite signal is non-periodic, then its decomposition will give us a combination of sine waves or a series of sine waves with continuous frequencies. Now, what are continuous frequencies, or what do we mean by continuous frequencies? Frequencies that are real number multiple of the fundamental frequencies, such as 1f, 1.1f, 1.2f, etc. Such frequencies are called continuous frequencies. So, if the composite signal is non-periodic, then its decomposition will give us a combination of sine waves with continuous frequencies. I hope this concept of continuous and discrete frequencies is now clear to you. Let us now try to go through an example of each, a periodic and non-periodic composite signal, so as to explain this phenomena of decomposition in a much better way. Figure 3.9 shows a periodic composite signal with a frequency f. This periodic composite signal is made up of three sine waves, with each one of them having a different frequency. These sine waves, or we can also call them as component signals or component waves, are shown in much more detail in the next slide. So let's go to the next slide. Figure 3.10a gives us the time domain representation of the three component waves or the three component signals, while figure 3.10b gives us the frequency domain representation of the same components. The frequency of the first component sine wave here is same as the frequency of the original composite signal, and hence it's called the fundamental frequency of the first harmonic. The frequency of the next component sine wave in this case is 3 times f, that is a frequency which is 3 times that of the fundamental frequency. Such a frequency is also called the third harmonic. Similarly, we have here the ninth harmonic as well. Since the composite signal here is periodic, the Fourier analysis of such a signal has resulted in a component signals which are or which have discrete frequencies. In the case of a non-periodic composite signal such as this signal shown here, which has been obtained using a microphone or a telephone, the composite signals or the component sine waves in time domain are infinite in number, each providing some small contribution to the overall composite signal's amplitude. In a similar fashion, in the frequency domain, the component signals or the component sine waves are also infinite in number, but in this case they all lie within a range of 0 to 4 kHz. Having now gone through the concept of analog signal with discrete and continuous frequencies, let us now focus on another characteristic of signal, that is its bandwidth. Bandwidth is defined as the difference between the highest and the lowest frequencies contained within a signal. Let me explain this with the help of an example. Figure A represents a periodic signal in a frequency domain plot, while figure B represents a non-periodic signal in the frequency domain plot. The difference between the highest frequency and the lowest frequency in both cases gives us the bandwidth of the signal, which is 4000 Hz in each case. Let us now also solve a few problems on this concept. If a periodic signal is decomposed into 5 sine waves with frequency of 100, 300, 500, 700 and 900 Hz, what is its bandwidth? Draw the spectrum assuming all the components have a maximum amplitude of 10 volts. So a very straightforward question. All you have to do is to subtract the lowest frequency from the highest frequency, and this gives us the bandwidth of the signal. The next thing we have been asked to draw is the frequency spectrum of the composite signal. This is also very straightforward. It's basically 5 spikes each with an amplitude of 10 volts. Moving on to the next question. This question is also very similar to the question we have just solved, so I will leave it to you students. Let us now briefly go through the concept of Fourier analysis itself. Though you would have studied it in detail in your mathematics course, and I hope you would remember the details from that class, but in case you have forgotten it, the following 2 to 3 minute explanation along with the 2 videos, the links of which I have posted on the class website. This material I hope will get you started with the Fourier analysis in a short period of time. So Fourier analysis is basically a tool that allows you to convert a time domain signal into a frequency domain signal and vice versa. In case of a periodic composite signal, Fourier analysis is carried out by finding out the Fourier series of the composite signal. While in the case of a non-periodic composite signal like this, Fourier analysis is carried out by finding out the Fourier transform of the composite signal. In a nutshell, as you increase the time period of the signal, the number of discrete frequencies or the density of discrete frequencies in this specific region also increases, until as the time period approaches infinity and the signal becomes aperiodic, the number of discrete frequencies by that time also becomes so many that almost any frequency thinkable could be obtained as a multiple of them, thus giving rise to a continuous band of frequencies or a continuous spectrum of frequencies. For the first case, that is for the case of a periodic composite signal where we have calculated the Fourier series, the elements of the resulting Fourier series can be classified into 3 categories. These are A0, which represents the average value or the DC value, AN, which represents the coefficient of the cosine components, while Bn represents the coefficient of the sine components. Now, how have we derived these coefficients and what each one of them mean physically? All this has been explained very beautifully in a video that I have posted on the class website. So please go through that video after finishing this lecture. As for the Fourier transform and the inverse Fourier transform, it can be calculated using these equations. Their derivation and physical meaning has also been very aptly explained in an animation video that I have posted on the class website. So please check that as well. This finally concludes our discussion on the analog signal. In the next lecture, we'll start our discussion on digital signals. Thank you.